AI is evolving fast. Are you ready? Meet AI at FlytBase, your weekly hub to learn, upskill, and stay ahead in AI world. Let's dive into today's session.
Today we have Saurav along with us, and we would be going to his section. Before that, like how the trend goes, we'll be starting with our AI news. There's a lot that has happened in the week that passed by. Like Claude has brought in a lot of things. Gemini has done its piece of work. So let's just have a quick look. But before we get there, for those of you who are joining it for the first time and who's not part of our AI community yet, I have the QR code on my screen. So let's go into the AI news for the day. Let's start with the most trending news. So, of course, Claude Code has brought in which Claude Code will actually work. So it's just a simple toggle that has come, and it's become really useful because it can connect to your main system and can do a lot of stuff. For example, the folders that you create in your desktop that could be brought in, and a lot of stuff can be done on those folders. For example, the person on this video is trying to analyze his meeting transcripts and generate an entire, um, you know, task list out of it, and from that they can generate a lot of other things. They have brought in their sub agents and agents as well into this, so it makes it a lot more easier for the task to get completed. Amazing job at it. But there's a lot more to it. There are people who are mentioning about control your Mac connector with Cloud Co-work, which seems to be really nice. People are mentioning that to be just an Apple script MCP that lets Cloud to control your Mac apps and system functions. So people are generating slides out of it. I am not sure if I'm presenting that yet. Oh, yes, I am. 1 second. Oh my God. Okay, my net is really bad. Cool. Now I'll just say, because right now I think my net is really bad. Coming to the last thing for the day, so Google has brought in something called personal intelligence. What it does is it kindly secures and securely connects to your Google apps like Gmail, Google Photos, Search, YouTube. And just with one tap, it gets to know what exactly you do and what is it that you need and everything as such. It's something great. It's something that a lot of people are using. Data security, of course, is a question, but it's something that brings innovation into your phone. So do have a look and let us know. But since I'm not able to present, I think I will just put the links to these. Do have a look and let us know what you think about this. And I'll hand it over right to Saurabh. Hi, Saurabh.
Today's session is mostly focused on like for developers who use AI daily in their workflows for like doing anything with AI. I'm not going to show like a very magical hack or something uh, that you guys wouldn't have thought about, but it's more on a small thing that I just discovered while doing a slightly complicated and a risky task. So I just thought I should share with you guys so that maybe even as developers we will come to such situations where you guys would work on things that I'm just going to show you. So maybe at that time it will be really helpful for you. So let's go. I'll just share my screen. So before actually getting it into the actual presentation, here are some interesting things we tried this week. We all know Google Anti-Gravity. If you guys know, I think few days back, Linus Torvald, he kind of put one thing like one commit in one of his repos, and he clearly mentioned that he used anti-gravity. So the at least the Reddit world kind of like had made a big news of it. So we had to try anti-gravity. We just tried it today, and I mean it's there, but honestly, for me personally, it was nowhere close to Cloud or like Cursor or whatever like standard tools we have been using. But you guys can give it a try. Uh, then we have a small thing called Claude Mem. I haven't actually worked fully like on with this, but I think I can share the results of my coworkers, which Ganesh will share with you guys. Then third one, it kind of sounds weird, but it's nothing but an agent development kit. You guys can like Google it. It's a GitHub repo. We also tried it, but again, like if I have to put it very honestly, it's not coming close to uh, Cloud Code or Cursor, or maybe we are trying to fit a wrong use case in that. but you guys can try and share it with us so that we can use it on right use case or find a way to fit in our daily workflows. So yes, those are the three major things we tried. We also tried a few plugins here and there, but I think these three should be good for mention. If you guys have any questions on this, I can take it. Okay, nothing. Okay, so I haven't really thought about how I'm going to present this session because I generally like to keep it very raw and practical. Uh, so like this is a quite a popular meme, but as developers, we kind of have gone through such situations where we react like this, right? Like, by ये भी test करना था क्या? And this generally happens when we refactor something which is widely used, a shared library or a shared function that's widely used in the entire stack. And for some reason, uh, unfortunately, you have to refactor it and you don't find all usages, or you don't, even if you find all usages, you just forget to mention it in your test sheet. Happens a lot. I have faced such issues a lot. And I recently had to work on one of the projects where I had to do this, and I just did not want to end up in this situation because this is not very good situation to be in when you have all done all the refactoring. The QA guy also passes it because even he doesn't know what all to test. Maybe he misses one or two critical flows. It goes into production. Production goes down, and once it's live, you cannot do anything. So I just did not want to in that situation because I've been there in that situation, and we all know it's not very pleasant. So before actually telling you what I was working on, I would like to tell what are like few practical examples that we have faced when we had ended up in this situation previously. So as you all know, FlightBase, we are a drone, like we basically allow you to fly drones remotely sitting from anywhere. Uh, I mean, that's just a very small part of what we do, but that is another major function. So what happened is we were using a event management library, and we had to do some changes in it. We had to upgrade something in it. And since it's a very core event management library, a lot of people were using it. The developer had to spend a lot of weeks refactoring it and testing it. And humanly, you would not find all the usages. Even if you did, uh, it's very impractical to expect from a developer to like test all the flows because of course he's not able to detect that these are the affected modules. So this was one of the classic case. And what happened was after it went into production, users started using it, and kind of it was a risky situation because this all is a like tone controlling mission critical software. So anything in controls, it's as similar as you're driving a car and there is some bug in your steering. You wouldn't want to be there. And what happened, we like 1 hour of downtime, all the pressure and everything, right? So that is one major bug that still comes to my mind. It kind of haunts me, and of course I did not want to get ended up there. Second one, even not that serious, but serious for users, of course, because for example, we uh, FlightBase also provides way for users to kind of download media and all, and we of course have a shared S3 service, and in that we had to like add some parameter for expiry. The developer, and since FlightBase uses this library quite a lot, there are a lot of usages. The developer used tools and all to find all the affected modules. He had ensured that he had put that expiry everywhere, probably forgot to put at some places, and even worse, probably since humanly errors do happen and we missed 2 or 3 critical flows, and again code went into production. No one knew that we have to test this flow, and it kind of happened. So then of course users started complaining and all the chaos happened. Now if you kind of zoom out and look at both of these incidents, what happens is uh, generally when you're dealing with a huge code base like ours, and of course your libraries function common functions, common code, humanly, and if you have to refactor it humanly, it's very difficult to find and replace and make sure you're testing all the flows. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm not saying it cannot be standardized, but like it is what it is. We have messed up previously. So there's a common pattern here. Basically you are not able to refactor and find all the like common things. So yeah, now coming to what kind of I was working on. So I was working on this Redis library. So we use Redis. Redis is like one of our core systems, subsystems in our use system. It like we depend a lot on Redis, and if it goes down or anything happens to that, uh, we are not in a very good situation. And here I was refactoring this Redis library. If I have to just show you a snap of how many people are using it, so here you go. I have not even extended half of them, but you get the gist. Like there are many people using it, and even in this, uh, you will have some inner functions who have just used this as like this function as sub function, and then many people are calling that function. So like it's huge. And here I was, I've been asked to kind of refactor that. Where is it? Yes, refactor that. All I had to do is like uh, put an expiry, because at some places we had missed expiries, and I mean there were some issues in that. Let's not get into that, but the major thing is I wanted to refactor this library, and I don't want to end up in this situation. I have to, and I want to find all usages. I have to test. I want me to know all the possible uh, scenarios that I need to test, and all the possible flows, right? Now, of course, this is not even point of discussion. No one, like very few people, coders I know who don't use AI, but let's suppose I'm doing this in 2020, where there is no like anything related to it, or even 2022 for that matter. So yes, how would I do it? I just went on my VS Code or whatever ID you're using. You're just finding all searches, and you are literally like doing the donkey work of like finding and reading its usage, and then going and replacing and then adding that to a test case and all that. Or of course you have standardized tools, uh, like static analysis tools. Basically what I showed in my ID is basically using the same thing. It's kind of uh, all these are nothing but these are all graphs, so they're actually kind of going and finding each usage for you. So that is the way you would have done it. But again here, if you go as human, I have to go, I have to see, okay, who is doing this, what he's doing, then add, then refactor, then I add to test case. Now this for me is life questioning, and I of course I don't have all the time in the world to do such things. So of course I do not want to do that. And this is of course traditional pre approach, so this is like not an option for me. Now, okay, now we have set up a few things. We need to refactor use thing. We need to do it AI, because uh, like AI can do it accurately. AI will tell you 10 other things that probably you will not be able to get into in first few iterations. And of course it can like do it very fast, but only if you give it right tools, and only if you give it right context. Because AI, I keep saying this, that AI is a like it has a mindset of taking shortcuts. So basically, if you just ask it, okay, Claude, yeah, or whatever AI you're using, just go and refactor this for me, because these are the challenges. These are the changes we need to make. AI is like it's a very in Hindi as it's called utavla. He would just go and do all the change. He will use grep whatever usages he will find. He will go and just replace them, and he will say, hey, it's done. You can like push this to production, and everything will work. But it doesn't work like that, especially in huge code repos. And now, if you guys can think, if you guys use Cloud Code and all these AI systems go under compaction after some stage. Basically, you have a limited context window, and you're refactoring a lot of things at a time. You need to the AI has to understand the context of that specific function. It needs to understand who is calling it and what is the right refactor to be done at that function. Now, it kind of doing it for every function, and you suppose you have like 10,000 calls. At some point it will go into compaction, because the context window gets filled up, and then it will forget what it was doing. Then again you have to tell it, okay, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. Now like you refactored this, but now you have to continue doing this and all this. So it's a very irritating and frustrating experience. I can tell you that, because even me as a developer, I did this, and I ended up not so bad situation. And end of the day I was like, मैं ही कर लेता था, क्योंकि इसको बताने से अच्छा तो मैं कर लेता हूँ, मेरे बहुत इतना टाइम जा रहा है, and it's very frustrating. So okay, now again let's zoom out. We have to refactor this. We don't want to end up here. We have to do with AI. but AI is kind of not so good in making sure it will do it properly, because it doesn't have the right context, and it generally doesn't think about all such situations, like if you don't tell it to. Now, what can be done? So if you just see, this is not a problem of AI not doing it, it's just a problem of we are not enabling AI to do it properly. For example, okay, now let's get into how we can do it. Now, only there are two critical things that is missing here. One is you need to find a way to tell AI that, hey AI, you need to like refactor Redis in my case, and there are 10,000 people using this at this function in this file at this line. Imagine you have a list of all such files, and you just have a proper documentation or even a good prompt of what needs to be done. If somehow we are in the situation, uh, AI will do it, because now it has a proper list. It needs to do is go into documentation, understand what needs to be done, just iterate through your list, pick one item, do the change, add that to your test case, done. Go ahead. Now imagine, okay, I think my screen. Now imagine that you have a list and it's kind of doing a donkey work for you. Even if it goes into compaction and all, it can just easily refer back the huge list you gave. You always have the documentation of what needs to be done, and it can just continue. Even ahead, you can just fire up 4 or 5 plots parallelly, and we can divide the list. So that way you attack parallelly, and you do more work in less time and with accuracy, and without actually being scared that it might miss something or it can like hallucinate. Now, what I just want to say is you just need these two things. Now, let's find a way how we can get these two things. Second one is slightly easy, because you can just give a prompt, or you already know what needs to be done. You can just give a prompt and create a document of what needs to be done. The first point is something that is very easy to be done actually, but it doesn't cross our mind in the first go. So what can we do here? So if you go to like the pre-AI approach, there are two options. One is human spending his life and like searching and all. Of course, in a way, AI is also doing that using grep. But how much grep will it use? It will go to compaction. It will like lose its context, hallucinate. But the second tool, like the static analysis tool, we still have that, right? And we know its pinpoint, it's accurate, and since it's a script, chances are very less that it will miss anything, because it's kind of predictive thing. Now imagine if we can connect the second point of this, it maps to this first point. Like imagine AI could magically know all usage, and you just give documentation, boom, it's done. So you just need to connect the way, like the traditional way and this new way to get this job done. So that is exactly what I did. Although I cannot show you the actual code, but I have kind of repository setup. This is a sample repository setup. I even gave the session in one of the physical sessions that happen at FlytBase on Saturdays. You guys should definitely join it. So I'll just walk through this documentation, but before that, I would like I don't want to bore you guys, so you can always ask your doubts, or like tell me whether there was any other good way of doing this. Maybe I'm not thinking enough, or maybe you guys can tell me, yes, I can relate to the situation. Anything and anything. Let's keep it interactive. Otherwise, both of us will sleep. Any questions I can take? Yeah.
I have a question. I have a very amateur level understanding of code. So ultimately, what was the prompt that you created that allowed you to do this a little bit more easily? Maybe I haven't understood everything, but you mentioned that you combined two aspects. So how did you do that finally?
Okay, I'll just go back. Basically, I wanted to refactor something, and it had a lot of usages, and did not want to miss any usage, and I did not want to miss any testing. So, right now, how do you find all usages? As a human, you either search it,
Yeah.
or you have all these static tools that can do it
Yeah.
for you. For example, in my case, in this my ID, this is what it's right? How is it able
Yeah.
to find it? Because it's all static analysis tools. It's all graph in the background, right?
Okay.
So if you can extract this data and make just give it to your AI, done. That's the job done. So I'm basically trying to explain how you can connect both these and get your job done more safely and release your code with more confidence.
So you give the AI access to the static tool. Is my understanding correct?
That is where I'm going. Yes.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Hello, I have a question. So
Yeah.
you mentioned tests, you were writing tests. Well, how were you thinking about testing before you do the refactor and during the refactor?
Yes. So in this case, it was quite easy for me because I'm refactoring Redis lib, right? And it's actually how you go about it. So either you go to your TDD approach that like all these things should happen before you have all the expectation set and you refactor and you run the test case, or you go by the traditional not so TDD but like the user flow based testing. So in this case, we had both, but we were focusing on the user flow based testing. So I'll just explain how I did it. Basically, as AI was refactoring, it obviously tracked all the usages and it knew that in this file it is being used for this specific purpose. For example, it's been used to set like remember tone/location. I'm giving a random example right now. So now it knows, okay, since I've refactored this, I need to make sure whatever flow this thing kicks in, I need to test that flow. So you can just add it to a CSV sheet or like whatever standard testing tool you're using.
So how, you actually, so how are you actually testing the end-to-end flow? How are you testing
Now that
flow?
is that is a different session to be had, but of course we can automate it. Depends, like if you want to have your white box and black box testing, if you want to have black box testing, you just document all your flows. See, AI is like refactoring it on the go. It knows what flow it has refactored, like in what flow that function is being used. So it can, of course, document for you. You should go into the XYZ flow and test it. And you just like have it in your test case repository, and your your QA guys can test that flow. That is more on black box side. So that is how you can do it.
I personally would go insane if I did it that way. You have no reliability over your flows before you start. And if you're using a QA tester to test the flows, you're doing it at the end. If you had proper end-to-end tests on the front end, it's Cypress. You have different tools for contract testing, end-to-end testing, and you create a proxy for your endpoints to effectively make sure that your inputs and outputs remain the same, right? If you have the refactoring, that serves as your North Star to make sure you are doing things correctly. If you don't have end-to-end tests before you start the refactor, you have no way of knowing that you haven't broken the behavior of the application. Without someone QA testing it, you're going to run into a million issues.
Yes.
You have end-to-end testing, and it has to work like no matter what implementation details you change. Without those end-to-end testing, I would not start a single line of refactoring. It is a dangerous proposition to do it that way.
It is.
Many issues. You can't alter test cases. Yes, integration tests, unit type tests will have to change as you change the internals, but you need a reliability metric. It's the same on the front end and it's the same on the back end. I think you're just making a lot more work for yourself, and AI hallucinates way too much to be able to trust it to test the usages. And QA engineers writing end-to-end tests does not work. The engineer that builds the feature needs to write the end-to-end test. You need to have complete confidence in your end-to-end tests that run in CI/CD, whatever it is, before you push any code in the refactoring. And it also allows you to incrementally build your refactoring. But that needs to be there. Otherwise, you will end up in such a mess when you refactor, and you have no confidence, and you will be having anxiety throughout the whole process. I just wanted to mention that because you haven't got to it, and I was worried that we'd never cover it in this. You know?
No, I was just about to say, if you have a pre-documented set of test cases that you always run, in this case, AI can always read those test cases and maybe just mark that flow as something that needs to be tested. So at the end of the day, you just have the affected test cases and you can run it. So yeah, simplest way.
I think we're talking about slightly different things, but I've said my piece. But thank you very much anyway.
So okay, any more questions? Okay, I'll just wrap up. So I mean, I'll just continue the demo. So I have this sample repo. I'll just put a link. Yes, so you guys can go through it. It's a public repo. So basically, what I have tried here is to just have kind of a simulation of what I was doing. Basically, it's a dummy repo. The code doesn't compile, but you can always take a look at code. Basically, what it's doing is we have 6 dummy microservices, and all are using a shared media upload library. And like some situation has come up, and we have to refactor that media upload, right? And yes, here you go. Now I'll just show the code. Yeah, so this is the same repo I've cloned, and you just have to like refactor this media upload, and yes, make sure like you are catching every usage and updating it with context, right? Now, how would I work with AI in this? I'll just fire my Claude. Again, the code doesn't compile, so don't look for the like business logic in it. Just try to understand the gist of what I'm trying to show. So now, how do you warm up this AI? Because we want AI to do it. So for in my case, I have a good requirements doc. I'll just use that to warm up my AI. So please ignore my typos. I do that all the time with Claude, and it's not an issue. So basically, this requirement doc is basically saying like QA has been reporting some issues that so and so feature has been broken and it's not able to, it's not very good thing. So yeah, nothing. So yes, basically it understood the problem well. It also knows the what is the problem and what is the like solution that needs to be done. Now, traditionally, I would have asked AI to find all usages and do it, which is stupidity. I don't do it manually, but we need accuracy as well. So in the AI workflows, I would just have a document around dependency analysis guide, because all this is like just finding your dependencies and making sure you're catching all usages. So if you guys can read it, it's basically like a doc that explains how you can use some tools. For example, in my case, I'm using TS Morph and NX graphs. So NX, don't worry about it. NX is basically a monorepo system in which you can have all these graphs of kind of directed graphs of who is using what as a dependency. And even one layer deep, I'm using a TS Morph. Basically, it's a TypeScript compiler which can exactly show you what function is used by what file at what line numbers. So basically, I'm just doing part 1 of this job, which is documenting all the usages, right? Now, second is and sorry, I also have a ready-made script to do this. It's basically just using tsmorph and creating a file for AI, right? So that is what I'll do. I'll just warm my AI with this again. Let's understand what it understands from it, and then we'll make it do one of the services. By the way, you can also use this to develop your test suite. Someone just mentioned that you cannot do it without any to-it test suite, very accurate, but how do you generate that very quickly and like almost with good reliability? You can use this technique, not for refactoring, but also like generating test cases. So that is also one thing you can do with it. Right. So it again went through this documentation. It understood what needs to be done. I have already like gone through this a lot of times, so I won't waste time on this. But it basically saying, okay, I know what needs to be done, and blah blah blah. Right. So I'm just asking it. Because with AI you don't ask AI to do everything at once. It will try to do it, but it doesn't work. So let's always let's do a POC first for one of the services. Basically, if you go through this code, you have all these services, and like the media, this is the library I'm talking about, media upload library, and the function used, like the function whatever it's present here, it's used by all these services, right? So I'm just asking it to whatever, like find dependencies on this thing and do it for one service so that we know it works, and then of course we can do it at mass. So I think it will pick up one of the service, right? So currently it has just developed rather generated a graph which kind of shows you this library is dependent on XYZ projects, XYZ services. Now it will use tsmorph to find exact file uh, and exact line numbers on these things. So and don't worry about tsmorph and all. I'm not saying this is only TypeScript or JavaScript specific. You can find these tools for all the frameworks and libraries that you guys use. So don't really worry about that. Okay, before it gets into refactor, let's just see what it has found. So basically, this is what it found, that ignore this anonymous. There is a bug in the script, but basically all these functions in this file, sorry, in this file, in this ts file on these line numbers, this function is using it, right? Now you basically have a very static thing. Okay, these are the usages. Good. Now AI already knows that all these need to be replaced. So yes, we can proceed. Now, ideally, what I would have done, I would have not just refactored, but I would have also asked it to go through my test case repository and kind of select the relevant test cases that I need to execute. So that QA guys, yeah, or even for you in that case, you can, pinpointed things that you need to test out. Right. So here it is doing, it's basically refactoring now. I'll not go into much details about that. Doesn't matter really, this code doesn't compile. So I mean, you get the gist, right? I'm not doing it manually. I can just fire 2 or 3 Claude sessions. I can assign like one service per Claude session per Claude and ask it to do the same thing. Like all the donkey work gets done, and you can not worry about this thing. So yes, that's the demo. I just wanted to show how we can generate test cases as well, but it will take a bit of time, so I'll just skip it for now. Basically what I would have done is after every refactored, after every edit, I would have just asked it to go through my test case repository and just select 11 test cases. So yes, that's what I would have done. But yeah, I think this is it. I mean, this is not a huge project, that so the ROI in doing this, maybe you guys will not feel it so much, but in like my case, you can imagine my life. So I can just assign a service to here and there and do each and like different Claude sessions and like make it happen. Of course I won't be blind and like just put that code to production. Of course I'll make sure that whatever it is updating, it can again update the same file our market has done. So and again I can ask another Claude to just be, like go into like code reviewer mode and just like review the code for us. So that's, yeah, I think that is the demo. Again, open to questions.
Here, you used the script that finds the function usages across the code base, right? So,
Oh, yes.
do you think LSP integration would be better than this script?
Sorry, what would be better?
Language server protocol integration, like in
Okay,
this
okay.
code, will you? Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
experiment with it or any other?
No, I did not actually, because this is the kind of the quickest thing I found. But of course, you can use that. But this kind of did a job for me. But I know what you're talking about. Even that would work.
Yeah, because recently Cloud Code added support for LSP. So
Yes, yes, yes. Like this demo is like before 3 months. If you can see my comment, that time all these things are not present. Yeah, but even this did the job for me. Yes, open to more questions, or we can close this demo.
For those of you who haven't joined the AI community yet and who doesn't understand what I'm talking about, we have an active AI community that we are running on WhatsApp. So a lot of the information about the session and a lot of information about questions regarding AI happens out there. So do join in and let us know what you think.